recording. Kind of really impressive and dominant display. You must be really pleased.
Yeah, really pleased with the group. Really efficient early. Thought we'd move the ball. I think we had 14 assists in the first half alone. Like, I know we scored a lot of points, but I thought we generated really good looks and then generally got the scout right. So Andrew Cooper and Devondrick Walker did a really good job of scout. Girls did a really good job of following it, pushing us out into transition, and generally ran our transition system better than we have for a while.
So to get up by massive margins is what you're doing, mate. You're putting games to bed early. How beneficial is it for you from a length of season and congested element of the season as well to be able to say, okay, come over, sit down for a little bit and save your legs for moments and put the kids on at different points as well?
Yeah, 100%. That's been huge. Like, the overall margins are kind of, like we've said from the start, the wins and losses is all we're really chasing. The percentage is nice, but we're trying to get to playoffs if we're good enough to get there as healthy as humanly possible, and trying to get the starters' minutes down as low as we possibly can. So, like, of all the numbers we look at tonight, like Maylee plays 25, Amy plays 27, Ali plays 28, Hahn plays 26. Like, we've got a lot more scope for when we do need to play the stars. They're hopefully a bit fresher later in the season than what they would have been had we flogged them in a random game in December.
Are you finding that's beneficial already, like just waking up in the morning feeling decent?
I don't know if I'll wake up feeling decent, but yeah, it's definitely nice to get early leads and get more experience into the younger girls. And yeah, it's always fun when you're up and about and everyone's getting on the court.
And to be scoring big, like that's the second time in 3 weeks, 2 weeks it might be, that you've scored 100 points. Like, it must be really nice from everyone seeing the ball go through the hoop and just racking up the scores that you are.
Yeah, definitely. I think it feels a bit like the last few years. I think earlier in the season it was a bit of a grind. Our offense wasn't quite clicking and we weren't scoring as much. But yeah, we've definitely found our rhythm the last little bit.
And to dominate, like to be up by so much, what's clicking early in games, allowing you to really push clear and put it to bed?
We're all just kind of on the same page. I think our starting unit is really in sync right now, and I think we all are on the same page of like, we're going to get what comes. No one's trying to force stuff. We're moving the ball. Like Ryan said, we have 14 assists in the first half or something, and the ball is just whizzing around and we're getting around each other. So it's really fun basketball.
You the other night looked like you're going to have some sort of record score individually, and then you start passing the ball to others, and someone else steps up. Like, you have a lot of players forward tonight. Hahn gets 22, Annalie gets 22, you get 23. Like you're sharing the load a lot. Is that something you've spoken about as a group, to make sure that you spread it as much as possible?
Yes and no. I don't think we've really exactly spoken about it as a group, but I think across the board this year we know that like on any given night it could be anyone's night. I think me and Chiba had a joke in Adelaide we combined for 60, and then the other night against Canberra we combined for 9 points. But like we win both games by 30, and we have different girls stepping up on different nights, and yeah, it's really nice.
Is that the strength of the script at the moment?
Yeah, it's probably, again, we've tweaked some things obviously in the off-season and playing much more 4-hour-1 compared to previous seasons. But certainly part of the roster change and the overall offensive philosophy was to get the ball to move more. I think we've played a lot of freelance basketball in the past, and I think we still do largely. But the strength of this year's group is that the ball doesn't get sticky anywhere. The ball pops. As I said, we had 14 assists at halftime alone. Normally when we'd have 60 at a half, we'd have 8 assists, 9 assists. We had 14 and a half. The ball flies around. So that's been part by design, X and O-wise. It's also been part by design, roster-wise. The ball doesn't stick with any player this season.
And Annalie's role in that's been massive. Like, she's going to get a triple-double at some point the way she's going. She's on the verge of it every game. Her assists, it feels like that's been the big change. Her game, she's always going to score, she's always going to rebound. But those assist numbers are really soaring.
Yeah, her playmaking has been huge. So obviously we have 2 combo guards in Ali and Chiba, and essentially a third one with Maylee now as well. And the fact she can point guard push, now wings are actually running into corners for a change, and Hahn knows where her role is now in transition offense, and suddenly there's a runway for Maylee. Again, back to earlier in the season, I'm not convinced there was a runway for Maylee to try and drive through, whereas now there is. And everyone feels hot on the three-point line at the same time, so you can't really help from anywhere. She's just a jack of all trades right now. I literally don't know what she's not really good at to elite at, other than me dragging her and making sure she doesn't get a triple-double.
So, how hard is it to have the three-headed monster, be a three-headed monster? Because everyone wants to be focusing on one thing at a time, but she's focusing on more than one. Not an easy thing to actually do.
Who's the three?
No, her.
Oh, her. I was going to say.
She is one three.
When you can, everyone wants to score and rebound, score, that's what she's done. But to have the third focus in a game is not simple to do because you're taking away necessarily from what you normally think about.
Yeah, well, she just keeps adding strings to a bow in the sense like she's always been an elite rebounder, and she's always busted her backside. But like she could I remember year one in the league for me as head coach, so 6 years ago now in Sydney, she could not shoot a lick. So like we would just sag right off her and dare her to shoot. Whereas now she'd be top 2, top 3 in our team. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head from the 3-point line. So you've got to get up and guard her. But obviously she can also put it on the floor and get to the rim. And if you're going to come from anywhere, like you're going to come from Amy's corner, like you're going to come from Ali's corner the way she's playing right now, like you can't really come from anywhere either. So the fact she can do all three, she's always been an elite hustle player. She's always been an elite rebounder. The fact she's added shooting to her bow now means the defense has got to get up. And that then adds to her ability to put it on the floor. She's just, as everyone right now in our starting five, they're all just a really tough cover.
I think that how's this group staying focused when you're playing so well? The later. It makes it pretty simple. But to win, you're winning games by massive margins. As a leader, what are you doing now to make sure that everyone just stays on track?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's. I think it got to a point in the third quarter and it was like, okay, we've got to start setting little tasks for ourselves. Just like, okay, we want to keep them under this number. We want to win by this number. But for us, it's just like, not to discredit anyone else, but right now we're trying to prepare ourselves for Townsville and Bendigo come end of the season, if that's the way it shapes out. And they're really tough covers. They're really tough. They're really physical. They're really all this stuff. So we can't take games off. Even we can't walk into a game if it's not Bendigo or Townsville and think, and take a night off. Right now we're just trying to get better at game by game. And yeah.
Seb, you there?
Yeah, hey guys, just Seb from AAP. Brian, I'll start with you. Obviously, we were talking a little bit about Annalie before. I'm just wondering, do you think, you talked about her adding a lot of strings to her bows. Do you think that she is demonstrating qualities of what an MVP should look like?
Oh, Jesus. You've stitched me up there. Doesn't matter how I answer this. She's playing elite basketball, obviously. We've said it before. I don't want to go down the MVP route because the reality, like, it's something no one in our team is looking at. We're just trying to win championships. It's about regular season. Can you get past 12 or 13 wins to make finals? Then can you finish with a top 2 seed, trying to get home court for at least the first round? Blah, blah, blah. Like, every answer I'm going to give you is really boring. We're really trying to stay present and stay focused on the current situation. And as I said before, we've just got to keep chasing Bendigo and Townsville. Everything else is just noise.
Obviously, you have had a similar starting five for the last couple of weeks. Is that starting five kind of set in stone, or are you ever thinking that maybe you would switch one or two players out every now and then?
For fun?
Oh, the starting five.
Yeah, no, but like switching it out, like for what purpose?
Oh, like just like when you start, like would you start with those five every single game for the rest of the season? Is that your plan?
Not on current form. I think a lot of them pick themselves. Obviously, like which one would you not start is probably the better question to rearrange. And then the fact having Chibber and Ali together gives you the dual guard combo. So if you try and lock down on Ali, then you can at least throw it to Chibber and Chibber can go become the point guard. And that combination as well, in fairness, their plus minus rating, like we look at lineup analysis and everything else. We're just really comfortable with that current starting five. Again, if something changes, we'll look at it. But on current form, when you're winning games by 25 plus each week, I'm not sure we'd be changing it for fun.
And we've spoken a lot about offense in the past couple of weeks, but I'm just keen to know, what are your thoughts on defense? Do you think there is more improvement to go on that end of the floor?
We don't really talk defence with the Perth Lynx, in fairness. No, not publicly anyway. We certainly do internally. There's certainly been an adjustment defensively this season. And obviously we had this year, probably the bigger difference is that we have a lot more rim protection. So the guards have got a very clear job this season and the bigs have got a very clear job this season, without going into too much detail. So I'm not convinced we're trying to put more time into it than we have previously, but certainly the scheme I think this year, certainly from a coaching point of view, obviously Amy can probably comment differently. The scheme feels a lot more black and white this year defensively, and roles are a lot more clearly defined. And then we've gone and got some elite defenders. So those things combined have helped.
Awesome, thanks. That's all I have.
Cool.
Hey guys, one from me at the WNBL Lockie here. Apparently on broadcast, Damon Martin said that Devondrick Walker compared Hanzu to Wembenyama, which, I mean, you can see the comparison, but both of you guys, like, she has been sort of an absolute revelation. That full court pass that went to Maley for the triple. Have either of you guys seen anything like that? And do you agree with the comparison from the former NBL One West MVP?
Yeah, I mean, Hana's been amazing. I think she's obviously come in and changed our offense a lot. I think, I don't like to compare players. I think Han's her own player and Han has her own skill set. But yeah, I mean, she's unreal and she's a great player on the international stage and she brings a lot to our team, and just her ability to stretch the floor with her shooting, make that up court pass to Maley she did in the game. But yeah, I mean, she's really good. Yeah.